Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to tell you why taking a lot of naps, either for many hours or many times during the day, can be a warning sign for you, especially if you're already over 50. Many people think that napping is harmless, but it can actually be a sign that something is seriously wrong in your body. I'll tell you more about what it is so you can be careful. This video is very important, so stay until the end because you won't want to miss it. Before we start, I want to ask you, how old are you? Where are you from? And do you have the habit of napping in the afternoon, after lunch, or at the end of the day? Is this a daily habit, or only when you're really tired, or maybe when you were already lying down and without even thinking, you just fell asleep? You were so tired that before you knew it, you were already waking up, realizing you'd fallen asleep. Has this been happening to you? Write it for me down here in the comments. This is usually associated with older people, right? But more and more, we see younger people napping in the middle of the day. They're tired, lean against something, and before they know it, they're asleep. And young people, even those who are 50 or even younger, have been experiencing this. So it's really important for us to figure out why these naps are happening. Napping itself isn't necessarily a problem, but the number of times you nap and the time of day you nap can also be an issue. Usually we associate napping more with elderly people because they tend to have lighter sleep. As we get older, it becomes harder to fall asleep, to stay asleep, and our sleep can become lighter and more fragmented. So naturally, people will feel sleepier during the day. People are more likely to wake up at night, sometimes to urinate, sometimes because their sleep is already lighter, they wake up and can't get back to sleep. There is a decrease in deep, restorative sleep, and there may be a physiological reduction in melatonin as we age. So all of this contributes to a worse night's sleep, which will make you feel more tired. A very concerning finding showed that people who nap more frequently, for longer periods and irregularly, have a higher risk of dying from unspecified causes. And in fact, this information needs to be given correctly because it's not the nap itself that causes the risk of death. The nap shows us that the body is already suffering and that there are health conditions present that are making you very tired, and that may be related to a more serious health problem that could unfortunately lead to an earlier death. So, these long and irregular naps have been associated with higher mortality. Those who napped between 11 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon were more linked to this risk, and those who napped more, on average, according to the study, which was statistically proven, these people who napped more tended to weigh more, were more overweight, had higher blood pressure, and elevated blood sugar, which in themselves are already signs that something isn't right in our bodies, that the body is already more unbalanced. In other words, this nap could be a symptom your body is showing you during the day that your night's sleep is poor. This is a very important point for you to pay attention to. But after all, what could be making your nights worse, right? Why do some people sleep poorly? And what's wrong with that? But after all, what are the conditions that could be making your nights worse? One of them, which is very important for you to look into, is sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is precisely when you have trouble sleeping because you can't properly oxygenate your body. You have difficulty inhaling oxygen, whether due to being overweight, postural problems while sleeping, or issues with muscle tone. So if you snore a lot, if you wake up frequently at night, and if you feel very sleepy during the day, these could be symptoms of sleep apnea, and you should look into it. I have an entire video talking more about sleep apnea, and I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Chronic pain, which can appear with age, also affects our sleep, right? A person who is in pain moves around a lot, can't sleep very well, and this will definitely make you nap more throughout the day. Heart or lung problems can also reduce nighttime oxygenation, causing you to have more micro-awakenings. Sometimes you don't even realize how many times you woke up, but you don't reach that deep, restorative sleep, and this can also make you nap a lot during the day. Uncontrolled diabetes can alter your energy levels, can make you wake up a lot at night to urinate with excessive thirst, and also harms your night's sleep. Early stages of dementia or neurological disorders can also cause this. The person has more difficulty regulating their circadian rhythm, has more trouble reaching deeper sleep, which will also make them nap a lot throughout the day. And also, a very sedentary lifestyle and little exposure to natural light will cause your circadian rhythm to become deregulated. So, people who spend a lot of time indoors, watching TV, on their phones, not moving much, staying cooped up without much activity, their bodies start to lose track of when it's day and when it's night because they're not getting sunlight on their faces, they're not exposed to external stimuli. So it's important to try to get out of the house, to try to exercise, even if it's just going for a walk. And this can help with your own sleep and reduce those naps during the day. Not every nap is bad either, right? It's worth mentioning that. Researchers have found that when naps are short, up to 30 or 40 minutes, and especially when taken between noon and 2 in the afternoon, they can help improve your focus, memory, reduce stress, and even lower blood pressure in some cases. So a nap should really be just a nap, right? It should be a planned moment. There's even the habit of the siesta, right? That the Spanish practice, where they sleep for half an hour or 40 minutes after lunch, which is exactly during that time, and then continue with the rest of their day. So it's interesting. It can be good for your health, yes, as long as it's not super long. You can't replace day with night and change your circadian rhythm. Another important thing is that you shouldn't be napping all day long. There are people who sit down to watch TV and before they know it, they're already asleep. There are people who start talking to someone and fall asleep in the middle of the conversation. That's a sign that you're really tired, that your body isn't sleeping well at night, and that's not normal. It's really worth looking into. Tell me down below then, did you know that napping could be related to health problems? And anyway, have you ever noticed a connection and thought, I really had this health issue. I was napping a lot. I was really tired. I hadn't realized it before. What happened in your case? Write to me down below. I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, that really helps me out, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it, especially those who nap a lot and need this information. Let's work together to spread this chain of good. That's what I want on the channel. See you next time. Bye.